Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of High Hopes Motivation with Egidio Sardinia. This week's topic is courage over fear. So as we get into this topic, guys, let us first try and dissect what we think fear is. Is fear our perception of something that we think will hinder us? Is it some sort of perceived inadequacy that we identify within ourselves, which prevents us from going further in life? Or is fear something more deep-rooted within us? Something that has happened in our past, that has a stronghold over us, that has left an imprint on us, that we retreat to because we keep going back to that fear in our minds, and that holds us back from actually moving forward in life. At the end of the day, fear has many labels, and we each face a different fear. We each face a different battle in our lives. But I am of the firm belief that if we as human beings will replace that fear with courage and tackle it head on, that we can go forth and do great things in our lives. So guys, why is fear so destructive? I would first like to put out there as a proviso that this is purely based on my own opinion of what I think fear is and how I face fear in my life. And I've also had the privilege of speaking to a lot of professional athletes and coaches and very successful business people, all of whom have overcome some very big obstacles and adversities in their lives, ranging from any type of fear that you can actually imagine. And the general consensus that I've been getting from most of these successful people and these people who overcame these big obstacles and adversities in their lives when they faced this fear is that fear is a destructive force. It controls what you do. It controls how you think. It controls your behavioral patterns. It controls a lot of the time how far you're willing to go in life and what you are willing to do to achieve your goals. And as I said, I'm firmly of that belief that if you can face these destructive thoughts, you can face these fears and replace it with courage and step out of the box, step out of your comfort zones, then you can do wonderful things in your life. As I said, speaking from my own personal experiences and the people I've spoken to who have overcome their fears, they say it's just so liberating once you can see that this fear was something that was just holding you back. It was almost like a dog with a bark that had no bite. And once they understood that they were stronger than this fear and that they could just step up and face their fears and they were able to overcome it, that they had nothing to fear. And when they became fearless, that is when the great things started happening in their lives. So guys, what can we do to face our fears and replace that fear with courage? Well, the first thing I would like to say is we all have different fears. We all have different pasts. And I would like to put it out there that if you can first do some soul searching, because sometimes that's what is required from you, is to sit by yourself and think deep into your past and find this deep-rooted fear. What is preventing you from moving forward in life? Is this fear something that is consuming you, that is preventing you from moving forward? Is it something that is scaring you from trying something new that you know will take you a step further in life? I feel that is the very first thing in overcoming fear, is identifying what the fear is. Once you know what this fear is, then you got to identify where you want to go. Once you know where you want to go, you can then put the dots together, and most of the time you will find that that fear is in the way of you and your goal. is in the way of you and your destiny. So once you identify those two things, you can go about facing your fears. And I'm not saying it's going to be a walk in the park, because I try to live my life that way as best I can, where I replace my fear with faith. I replace my fear with faith. I replace my fear with courage. I replace my thoughts with what I want to happen in my life. And I've noticed every time I've stepped up to the plate and faced my proverbial Goliath, that I've overcome that Goliath every single time within me, or that is standing in front of me, because I decided to take that leap of faith. I decided that there's strength within inside of me, that I can do anything if I just put my mind to it. And a lot of the time, the fear was just something that was trying to drag me back into a comfort zone where I wouldn't step out to become my best, or I wouldn't even attempt to try something new, even though I knew it would progress me to the next step of my life. So I feel it's very important, guys, that you take that step of faith. You face that fear head on. So I'm not saying like if you've got a fear of lions, now you're going to go into a lion enclosure and you're going to go and try and wrestle with a lion. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is, if you've got a goal in life and you've got an ambition to do something great with your life, and there's a self-imposed fear inside you, take it on. That little still voice inside you that says, do it, that means that's your intuition. That is something telling you to take that leap of faith and do it. Because I can guarantee you guys, most of the time when you're going to take that leap of faith and you're going to stand up to your demons, you're going to stand up to your fear, you will do great things. And you will overcome obstacles that others said you wouldn't. So guys, I thought I'd just include a few examples of replacing fear with courage. So as I said, when starting this channel, I've had a big privilege of speaking to a lot of professional athletes and coaches and some very big business people out there. And I was able to get their views on overcoming these big obstacles and these adversities and facing their fears. And what were the negative thoughts that were running through their minds before they took these steps or this leap of faith or taking on their fear. And an overwhelming majority of them told me that there was a negative voice that told them, you're not good enough to do it. Why are you trying to do this? You should stick to the normal 9 to 5. But at the same time, they said that other voice inside them that said, you stepping up to this fear is what's going to push you into your destiny. And they let that voice speak louder. And once they did that, a series of events unfolded after that, which led them to their destiny. Obviously, after a lot of hard work and persistence, but they got there in the end after deciding to take on this fear. So what I would like to put out there is that that negative voice will always come up. When you're trying to make that decision to face your fear, that negative voice will always come up to try and prevent you from stepping out into your destiny. So I urge you to step into it. Some examples will be taking a course that you always wanted to take. Maybe you think you're not qualified enough for a specific job, but something inside you tells you, apply for that job, apply for that job. Maybe you need to move to a new city to get a new job, but a voice is telling you, don't move there. But the bigger voice is telling you, move there. Or maybe it is just a career path that other people think you won't make a success in, but it's your talent, it's your gift, and you just know that if you're going to step outside of that fear, you're going to make it. These are all just examples of facing your fear, guys. And I believe that if you're going to step out there with authority and you're going to look at your mountain and decide to climb this mountain, you are going to get to the top with persistence and hard work and belief in yourself. But it all starts with inside, guys. It's a journey. So guys, I just wanted to summarize this video by saying everyone will have their take on fear and how you should face it. And this is purely my opinion and what I have overcome and how I have faced fear in my life and overcome big adversity and obstacles to achieving my goals and my dreams. And all I can say is, from my own personal experience, is that having been on both sides of the spectrum, where I've let fear overtake me, and on the other side where I decided to take my fear on and replace it with courage, the results spoke for themselves when I decided to replace it with faith and step forward and go after my destiny. And that's the one thing I never want to have on my tombstone one day is, here lies Egidio, who had so many regrets because he was too scared to step up to his fears. So I leave you with that, guys, is that the decision is always yours. But I feel that life is this amazing journey and we should make the most of it and we should go after everything we want. So step up to that fear, take it on, step outside of the box and become everything you were destined to become. Hopefully there's something in this video that can inspire some of you out there. Thank you for giving this video a watch today. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please give it a subscribe. And like I always like to say, have high hopes.